Mary Kate.
Okay, so my title is Canvas of Beauty, expressing emotions and individualism in art. Okay, so the author of my article was Kate Blanchett, and the article was called I'm Not Mrs. America, That's the Point. And basically the article describes the importance of coming together during political instability, and she talks a lot about COVID-19 and how that was a time of kind of isolation where a lot of people were separated, but she sees the importance of interaction, and she believes that's the key to keeping us together and coherent. And she believes that in times of instability, art can be the key during having confusion. Okay, so my artist is Jackson Pollock. He really resonates with emotional expressionism and individualism. He's someone who suffered from alcoholism and depression a lot of his life, so that's really shown throughout his work. And he's known for his abstract expressionist paintings. And another important aspect of his work is he uses the drip, like paint drip technique, which would be an inspiration to many other artists. Okay, so this is his first piece. It's called Blue Poles, and it was created in 1952. And I think one of the most important parts of this piece is the blue poles, which you can see right here. And surrounding the poles is a lot of like confusion and chaos. And I think that the blue poles are kind of there to distract from the sense of chaos. Also, there's a lot of movement in this painting, which shows the chaos and instability I think that Pollock experienced in his life. There's also a lot of rhythmic elements that show a sense of vitality. And I think that because Pollock suffered with depression and things like that, the blue poles kind of show a diversion from the suffering he experienced. So overall, I think there's an overall feeling of confusion and sense of chaos in this piece. Okay, and this is his second piece. It's called The Number One, which was created in 1949. And I think a really important aspect of this is the space, because the paint kind of covers the entire canvas, and all the lines intertwine and overlap each other, which shows a sense of unity in his work. I think there's also a lot of darker shades and colors, which I think represents the times of darkness that Pollock had in his life. And another thing to consider is I think your eyes don't go to one specific part of the painting. There's just a lot of overall movement going on. And I think that this drip technique kind of helps create the feeling of continuity and visual cohesion. Yeah. And then this is the last one. It's called The Deep, and it was created in 1952. And I think it kind of shows a sense of isolation and desolation with the dark color in the center. And I think that center kind of darkness shows how Pollock was being dragged down by his depression and life experiences. And I kind of think, to me, I infer this is how his mental health issues were sort of consuming him. And I think the fluid movement really shows the instability in his life. And he was someone who really valued individualism. So I think this painting really values that. Okay, and then I wanted to compare and contrast Jackson Pollock and Kate Blanchett a little bit. So I think in the work of Pollock, you can really see how he uses unification and like emotion and different emotions in his work. And I think Blanchett sees the importance of coming together to become like a unified nation. So I think they compare on that point of view. But I also think they contrast, because Pollock was someone who really valued individualism and independence. And he kind of was satisfied in being alone and not really needing the help of other people. But Blanchett, on the other hand, really saw the importance of using each other in society to become integrated together. So I like this quote by Jackson Pollock, and it says, "Painting is self-discovery. Every good artist paints what he is." And I feel like this is important because in all of his pieces that I showed, I feel like he really takes his life experiences into account. And I think also going back to the article with Blanchett, she really sees that art can help be a distraction to life's problems. And I think that yeah, it was just like important to consider. And during instability, we can use art to kind of be a distraction to that. So thank you.
You must have practiced with a timer because we're exactly at 5 minutes. Nice job. All right, audience, questions, comments, compliments, raise hands. Please call on people.
I really liked how you, like, for the last painting, you really connected, like, his life experiences to the movement of the painting and, like, the colors and everything. I thought that was really cool.
I felt like it was important for you to apply some of that biographical interpretation because I remember you were struggling with how do you interpret an abstract painting like this?
Yeah.
And you did a good job of that. So that was a distinct approach that you took in interpreting and explaining the work as a whole.
Yeah. I also thought the way you presented your information was very clear, concise, and was very easy to understand and follow with you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mary.